Wow, the greater Edmonton area really outdid itself when it comes to what took place in real estate in October. My name is Taylor, I'm with Hacking Company at REMAX River City, and we turn stats into stories. And what I mean by that is that there was a lot going on in October that normally doesn't go on in October. Like many professional sports out there, the playoff season of real estate in the greater Edmonton area was pushed back to later in the year, and we saw activity that we would normally see as being associated with spring happening even in October. And honestly, right now it's November and it's raining. It's like Guns N' Roses time here right now. But you should check out everything. It's in our update, it's video style, and it's right here right now. And if you like more content like this, well, you can definitely find us in many different places, and you can like or subscribe to keep it coming. I hope you guys are doing awesome, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.
What is hot in Edmonton's real estate market? My name is Anthony, and this is Hacking Company at REMAX River City, and I'm going to focus on the hot list right now for October of 2020, and we're still seeing St. Albert and Sherwood Park at the top of this list. But I wanted to focus specifically on property types right now because the hottest, by far, types of properties in the market, especially in St. Albert and Sherwood Park, are bungalows and bi-levels. So what this means for buyers, if you're in the market for a new bi-level home or a bungalow, whether it's raised, hillside, etc., you've got to be ready. You know, if you're just using the public tools, there's very high chance that you're going to miss out on the properties that are completely move-in ready. You know, those ones that have all the gorgeous kitchens and bathrooms, those ones don't last. So you've got to be working with an expert. You've got to be set up on the pro tools to make sure that you see that property in your inbox as soon as it hits the market versus having to wait till mid-afternoon, that first day it's on the market. It might be too late. And we've run into that a couple of times with people that are calling us using the public tools. If you are thinking about selling and you own a bungalow or a bi-level, make sure you talk to an expert. Find out if there's anything you could be doing to make sure your property shows the best before photos and measurements and all of those good things. But be ready. Be ready for showings. Make sure that house is, tip-top shape, ready to go, and it's going to have an awesome show experience because you've got to be ready for showings and expect a lot of them. So we help a lot of people move through this process. Most times when we're meeting with people, they're not ready for photos, and we're okay with that. But we're always open to having conversations, and with less competition in the market right now because there's less inventory. If you have a bungalow or a bi-level and you are thinking about moving, whether you're upgrading or downsizing, let's have a chat. Cheers. What is cold in Edmonton's real estate market? My name is Anthony, this is Hacking Company at REMAX River City, and we're focusing on the cold list for October of 2020. And the stuff that makes this list in Sherwood Park in St. Albert, to go along with our theme for this month, would be apartment-style condos and also those 55 plus adult bungalows that you might see. They're typically duplexes, and there's just not a whole lot of action happening in those types of properties or in the low-rise apartment style condos. Right now, the condos, apartment style, are going at about 1 for every 7 that's on the market. So for every 7 that are listed, 1 will sell each month. And for the 55 plus style adult duplex bungalows, those places are about 1 for 12. So out of every 12, there's only 1 selling. This is super cold. Not uncommon, but we have seen a decline month over month in these types of properties. So if you're a buyer looking for these types of properties, what you need to be aware of is that you have basically the pick of the litter, right? You're going to probably go see everything that's interesting to you, and you're going to probably pick the best one because we know that the ones that are in first place are the ones that are going to see offers. So make sure you get an expert on your side to help determine what market value is and determine if they are overpriced or what the best price should be and what you should pay for them. If you're a seller, you have one of these properties that you're thinking about bringing to market, price is going to be really important, but it's not going to be the most important. There's other things you can do, like maybe you want to offer a bonus commission, or you want to talk about, extra stuff you can add in with the sale, or you've got quick possession or longer possession timelines available. These are going to give buyers options, but you've got to do things to stand above the crowd, stand above the noise here, all right? So make sure you get an expert on your side to talk about selling your apartment style condos or 55 plus bungalow duplexes in St. Albert and Sherwood Park. Cheers.
We talk about months of inventory in real estate because it's the measurement of supply and demand. When you take a look at all the properties that are for sale and divide them by the number of properties that have sold in a given month, you can see how long it would take before we ran out of properties. That can be turned into an indicator, and really, once you start to approach about 3.5 months of inventory, we would say that it's balanced. That means that when a buyer and a seller come into a negotiation, both of them are looking at whether or not they can come to an agreement, but also what happens if they don't. And in a balanced market, both of them kind of feel like it may not be a better option to look for another buyer, but it would probably be okay. And it may not be the best option to look for another seller, but it could be okay. Now, over the last 5 years, what we've noticed is that we've been at a high months of inventory. Even when you take a look at last year at this time, it was like 6 months of inventory, which is way into the buyer's advantage. And that means that when a buyer and a seller came together to negotiate, the buyer would feel really confident about being able to go find another house if they didn't come to an agreement here, whereas the seller would feel pretty nervous. That might be the only chance they get to run into a buyer for their house in a given month. So being that that's the case, when we take a look at the recent history, it's looking much better if you're a seller, and specifically if you're a seller of single family properties. But overall in our marketplace, we've actually been hovering over the last 3 months right around that 4 mark, just above balance, just on a slight buyer's advantage. And that's because there's several different neighborhoods that are well into a seller's advantage. If you're looking at affordable housing or super desirable housing in bedroom communities like Sherwood Park or St. Albert, it's a super different experience than somebody who's looking at condos downtown. And that ties into advice for sellers. Like imagine that you had a friend that was buying a condo downtown, and they told you about their experience, and they were like, man, it was just great. We found several places that we would have bought. Then when we did offer on one, we had a fantastic negotiation and even saw a 5% discount from list to sale price. Whereas that may not be your situation. You might be a buyer that's approaching $450,000 properties in a place like St. Albert. Well, if you were heading into St. Albert, taking a look at a neighborhood that would have that type of product, you may not find many things to show. And when you do find something, it might go so fast that it's somewhat shocking. So my advice to buyers out there is to be very careful on what you're buying. If you were to approach condos thinking that they're as hot as those single family properties, you're going to pay too much. And if you're approaching those single family properties the same way that maybe your friends approach a condo, you're just going to lose over and over again, meaning that other buyers are going to take the places that you like. Now, on the seller's side, that's also cautionary the opposite way. If you're a seller among a lot of competition, it's important to know that so that you can succeed. You need to get into that first place from a buyer's perspective early in your listing, and you'll do better. Now, alternatively, if you're dropping a property onto one of those hotspots, let's say that you're bringing it into one of those neighborhoods in Sherwood Park or St. Albert that have like renovated bungalows, that stuff is super hot. So it could be that all the properties around you that would be competing with you are already pending, and you're going to have a fantastic opening weekend. Now, if you didn't know that, you may not know that the neighborhood that you're in is averaging at 100% of list price, meaning that no negotiation. That's exactly how you leave money on the table. My name is Taylor. This is Months of Inventory. We're just talking about the relationship of buyers and sellers in our marketplace, and we would be glad to help you with more information. This is Hack & Company at RE/MAX River City, and we're the People's Real Estate Team. We are the #1 highest rated and reviewed real estate team on RankMyAgent.com in the greater Edmonton area. Cheers.
So how long does it take to sell property in today's market? I'm Kim Christensen with Hack & Company at RE/MAX River City. We measure the average days on market starting on day 0, and they move all the way through until the property is sold or no longer available on the market. The average days on market for all residential property in October of this year was 53 days. In September of this year, the average days on market for all residential property was 52 days. But last year, the average days on market for all residential property in Edmonton for October was 63 days. So the last 3 months, we are seeing a good trend here in the 50s, average days on market. That's really great. Our advice for buyers is just be in that ready position. Make sure you're pre-approved, working with an expert so you get those listings on day 0. And if you see something that you get out there and make sure you're ready, if you like it, to make a decision, because some of these homes are going on day 0, opening weekend. So just make sure you're in ready position and working with an expert so you can get advantage of seeing those properties listed on day 0. For sellers, Our advice to you, just make sure you are priced market value if you want to see your house sell within these average days on market. Get in a lot of showings through, making sure you're working with an expert so you're understanding the market and where your house should be priced. If you have any questions, connect with us and we would love to help. Thank you. Instead of seeing the average sale price like it's the average price of a home, look at it like it's the market's appetite for buying a home. I'm Kim Christensen with Hacking Company at RE/MAX River City. The average sale price for all residential property in Edmonton for the month of October was $382,060. So for the month of September, the average sale price for all residential in Edmonton was $376,571. Last year in October, the average sale price for all residential property in Edmonton was $374,409. For the past few months, we're seeing these prices incline, which is so exciting for sellers. For condominiums, the average sale price for the month of October in Edmonton was $231,608. For single detached homes, the average sale price for the month of October was $442,854. And for duplexes and townhouses, the average sale price for Edmonton was $382,060. If you're a seller and you have a property in these price ranges, you are going to see a lot more activity, a lot of buyers looking in these price ranges. So just make sure you connect with your realtor, make sure you get that property market value, and you'll have a great chance in selling within those days on market. If you're a buyer, just be prepared, be pre-approved, know that these price ranges, there's a lot of buyers looking at these price ranges. So just be prepared, get those listings on day zero, get out there and look at those properties, be prepared to put in an offer because a lot of these properties are going on day zero pending after the opening weekend. So just be prepared. If you guys have any questions at all, just let us know and we'd love to help. Take care.
Sales to new listing ratio shows the relationship of new listings arriving on the market to properties leaving the market as successful sales. Hi, this is Doro with Hacking Company at RE/MAX River City, and these are your past 3 months on the market. Over the last 3 months, the sales to new listing ratio has declined, which would be normal as we close the fall market. Year over year, even though 2020 has been very unexpected, for the first time in a long time, we are seeing sales to listing ratio at the same rate as in 2019. However, condos are not getting the same sales to new listing ratio, while duplexes are even with last year and single family detached are up over the past 3 months. To put this in perspective, for every 10 condos that were listed in October, 4 sold. For every 10 duplexes, 7 sold. And 7 out of 10 single detached homes sold. What does this mean for buyers? If you're in the market for a condo, make sure not to overpay. If you're in the market for a house, you've got to be quick to not miss out. For sellers, if you are selling your condo, your biggest concern would be not to get an offer. And if you are selling a house, your biggest concern would be not leaving money on the table. This is Doro with Hacking Company at RE/MAX River City. Have an awesome day. Cheers.
Thank you so much for joining us for Market Stats. We really appreciate that you support our business and that this information matters to you. If you want to keep it coming, you can always like or subscribe anywhere that we're found. My name is Taylor. This is Hacking Company at RE/MAX River City, and we are the #1 rated and reviewed real estate team on RankMyAgent.com. You might even want to call us like the people's team. We're also #1 as far as real estate teams at RE/MAX River City, one of the most competitive brokerages in the greater Edmonton area. So if you want to make your family's next move remarkable, let's get started. Hope you're doing awesome. Cheers.